Hello, and welcome to this last episode of the Spoilercast. We're releasing this because we had technical difficulties with our last episode, so this is sort of a belated sorry for missing the deadline. This is a lost episode from last Christmas. So we're gonna refer a lot to Christmas and December and things, but don't be alarmed. It's just because we thought we didn't have this episode anymore, so we couldn't release it this Christmas. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Check us out on all the social platforms. And I hope you enjoy a little revisit of Christmas. Bye! Hello, and welcome back to the Spoilercast. The show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them because it is the Spoilercast. I am Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusty co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
And I actually did the intro the right way this time.
Yes, you did. Yes, congratulations.
It's been a while.
Took you a year.
Yeah. And it is, of course, still Christmas. We're not sure when we're releasing this, but it is around Christmas.
Yes.
So we're talking about another Christmas movie. But since it's the Spoilercast, we're talking about another Christmas horror movie.
Well, since it's this Christmas on the Spoilercast, we're talking about another Christmas horror movie.
Yeah, or really,
that
we're
is
talking
the theme.
about. Yeah, this year's been horror movies. Yeah, a lot of horror movies, but we're actually talking about 3 horror movies.
Yes,
because this is it's an old classic that has been remade more than once, and you really didn't have to do it even once.
No, I sort of understand it the one time.
Okay.
But yeah, it kind of derailed either way. So.
Yes, it definitely did. And also, if you want to check out all the extra episodes, which by the time this is released, we will have our Avatar 2 episode released, at least on Patreon. So you should check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene if you wanna listen to that and get an extra episode every damn week, at least the weeks we record the original episode.
We'll also have a bit of a Christmas special around the 24th.
Of course, we're gonna have a Christmas special this year. Yeah, so check that out.
FYI.
Yeah, patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. But let's get into the discussion. Today we're talking about Black Christmas.
And we're talking about the 1974 version, the 2006 version, and the 2019 version. Yes. I realize there are a bunch of other Black Christmas movies, but I'm not sure they have any connection to this one. One of them seems to have...
I know there's like a fan-made movie.
Yeah, perhaps it was fan-made.
It came out last year, I think. But it's not an official release, so we didn't watch that.
No. But, you decided on this movie, so I want to start off with the original. Why, and what did you think of it?
Well, why is because, it's because of what I think of it. I really like the original. I think it's a great horror movie. Once again, not really a Christmas movie, but a Christmas-themed horror movie. We've talked about this.
Yeah, it takes place at Christmas time. That's about it.
Yeah. But it's, I rewatched it because I hadn't seen it in a long time. So I rewatched it for this episode, and I still find it like genuinely terrifying at times. And the whole movie is very like paranoia-inducing.
See, I didn't feel that way, but I might be damaged.
Okay.
Because the whole like when a stranger calls kind of thing doesn't really bother me anymore.
No, not so much those parts. Like the
or even the calls are coming from inside the house doesn't bother me anymore. Because every single time the bad guy calls you, it's basically he's in the house or they're in the house.
Sure. But I'm thinking more specifically, like one of the more like scary moments in the movie, for me is early on. I think it's the first when he kills. Spoilers, I guess.
Well, it's from 1974. If you haven't seen it, I mean, it's the Spoilercast.
It's almost 50 years old, yeah. It's when he kills Claire, the first girl.
Yes.
There's this long build up to it where you can actually see him standing behind the plastic thing, and I was just like, he's right there.
Yeah, sure.
It reminds me, it's those moments in movies where you can see the killer, or the monster, whatever, and they're just standing there, and the protagonist or the victim is unaware of it. Other classic,
you're kind of shouting at them like, "Look there, turn around," kind of thing.
Other classic moments are, of course, the towards the end of Halloween, when she thinks everything is fine, but you just see the mask appear in the darkness behind her, or of course, one of the most terrifying moments in movie history, The Strangers. When Tyler's just standing there, like she thought she heard something, but she's not sure. So she's just standing there like, what was that? And you just see the guy standing there in the corner behind her.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
See, those kinds of things, yes. That's the one moment in Black Christmas that is that way. It's the beginning. After that, I kind of lost its edge, I suppose. For me, at least. Because I felt there was too much... there was too much uncertainty around the actual disappearance and killing. Like, they had no clue who it was or why. They didn't really know if it was connected to the phone calls. And there was too much other stuff going on with the girls and their relationships and stuff. Especially, I don't remember her name. The British girl?
Yeah.
Jess?
Oh, I don't remember. Jess, I think so, yeah, Jess.
Yeah, Jess and her boyfriend, who was obviously upset about the fact that she wanted an abortion.
Yeah.
That whole plotline kind of took the foreground and, made it less scary? I wrote... my Letterboxd reviews on these three movies are very colored and very directly after the movie, so I'm kind of upset about the movies in general. Because all three of them have this overlying theme of men doing violence because they can't get what they want.
Yeah.
It's not really what's the issue in the first movie, because Billy is obviously just a disturbed individual. It's not because he can't get what he wants, he has some sort of mental issues.
Yeah, we don't... I gotta say,
I'm thinking he has multiple personalities. What's it called? There's a word for it.
Schizophrenia?
Yes.
I think? I'm not sure.
Because of how he mimics voices and stuff. I'm assuming, but that's one of my issues. We don't really get to know why he does what he does or who he is at all.
No, and that was something. Because I watched these in the wrong order, because I had only seen the original, so I was waiting to watch that, and instead I started with the 2006 version, which had this long backstory for Billy.
Yes. Briefly on that one, that was too much backstory.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't remember all this in the original, and I was like, my mind was making up. Like, I think they talk a little bit about the Billy character, but not much. And then I saw the 2019 version, and there was nothing. But yeah, and then that was a whole different movie, basically. But then I saw the original yesterday, I think. And yeah, they don't explain Billy or the killer at all.
No.
And I was like, yeah, that aspect of it, I don't know. It bothered me after having seen the remake. Unfortunately, that's the only good part about the remake, I suppose, that we actually get some explanation.
Yeah, but we get a bit too much,
like you said. Yeah. But I still like the original. But for reasons that you said, like it's a bit of like a commentary on misogyny. If it's very little of it, there is some there.
I mean, almost every single male character has some sort of issue when it comes to the women. The policemen are like, oh, but you're just women, we don't care about your issues, or because Barb is constantly drunk, everyone is like, she's just drunk, who cares? Peter, or whatever his name was, the boyfriend, is obviously upset because, well, he wants the baby, but she doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Mr. Harrison is just appalled by women being sexualized, or sexual in general, basically. I think the only guy who isn't upset about women in any way, shape, or form is the detective, I guess?
Yes, John Saxon.
Yeah.
And the Claire's boyfriend seems to be genuinely nice. If a little aggressive.
Oh, right,
maybe,
yeah.
but not towards
No,
women.
he's not aggressive. He's aggressive towards other men.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's genuinely worried about Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So there's two men who are just, like, genuinely good. But every other man has a bit of an issue of some sort. Though it's not really touched upon that much, except for Jess's boyfriend, who gets upset and, like, cries in the phone and stuff. And the lieutenant goes like, "Are you sure he's not the bad guy?"
Yeah. But you should also remember that this is from 1974.
Yes,
so,
yes,
like,
sure.
it's hard to, like, compare it to the 2019 version, which goes way too far.
Oh yes. We'll get to that. But I also felt that the 74 version lacked, like, gore and horror stuff in general, because the scary bits are the phone calls mainly.
Yeah.
And
but
after a while they get too repetitive.
You gotta remember though that this is before horror got bloody. This is like the goriest movie. I mean, I don't know every movie ever made, but, like, the goriest movie I can think of that came out before this was, like, Night of the Living Dead, where there's, like, 1 or 2 scenes of actual, like, zombies eating people.
Yeah, that's true.
This is before Halloween. This is before Friday the 13th. This is before Dawn of the Dead, where they really went all out with the gore. This is before all that. This is before slashers, which is why it's not just, like, dumb bimbos being chased, which is the second or the first remake.
Yeah.
This is actually, like, it's supposed to be, like, suspense story,
I suppose.
A thriller, a horror movie.
Yeah, the tagline in Swedish is en rysare.
Yeah, exactly. It's a chiller, a thriller. Yeah. So I see what you're saying, but I also, at least I don't know if that is, like, making excuses for it, but, like, I didn't expect it to be super gory.
No, but see, I did, because I am damaged by horror movies and slashers in general.
Yeah.
I expect blood and gore, otherwise I'm not gonna be frightened. I was a bit freaked out about the whole choking with the plastic, because that I hate that. That is, like, one of my biggest fears.
Yeah.
So the way he kills Claire is disgusting. I hate that.
Yeah, and then I really find it super. That's part of the whole paranoia thing, or what do you want to call it? Like, the fact that all this time, like, almost from the very beginning of the movie, Claire's body's just up there in the attic.
Yeah, it's just chilling.
It's constantly just sitting there, and they're like, "Where's Claire? Where's Claire?" People keep disappearing. Like, she's literally on, like, just above you. If anyone would just look.
Yes.
I think those
Which,
moments,
I mean, didn't Miss Mac does, and she gets killed, though.
She gets killed, yeah.
So.
And then I think Billy is genuinely frightening because he's so unhinged. There's, like, these, like, POV shots when he's up in the attic and he's just screaming his lungs out.
Yeah, that's true.
And just smashing things. She's like, this is a truly disturbed individual. I found that kind of scary.
The thing is, I found it felt more like something someone, like, on the spectrum would do when they're having, like, they can't control themselves. They're having, like, a rage issue. Not just because he's a mad person, he's angry. No, because he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to express himself. It felt more like that somehow. Which kind of made me sympathize with him. Because I don't know enough about him. So I'm like, oh, this is just someone who needs help. But I have to ask.
He's obviously a creep. Like, he
yes,
keeps talking about, why don't you suck my cock?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
but that's the thing. I didn't connect that it was him at first. I was like, this is just some weirdo. And then again, I didn't connect the kid missing. The other girl who they're all out searching for. I was like, is that him? Or, because did he ever leave the house? Do we know that?
I never connected that part. I just thought that was like another female victim, basically, because it's a little girl who's been killed.
Yeah, but that's why I'm like,
if it's not specifically him who's done it.
But that's the thing. If it's him that's done it, then he leaves the house and he's weird. He's weird enough to do like that kind of stuff while going back to the house and tormenting these girls. Or is it just coincidence? Then why the fuck is it in the movie?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that part.
Yeah, there's too much. There's a lack of coherence in this movie, in my opinion. There's not enough details.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that part where they're out looking for both girls. Once again, I think it's to add suspense, because
sure,
when they find something, you're not sure, is this going to be Claire? Well, we know it's not going to. We know it's not going to be Claire, but I mean,
yeah.
And you have the scene where the father runs to see what it is, and he is almost like he's relieved that it isn't Claire,
because it isn't his daughter.
Yeah, which kind of like that's a weird thing, but of course he's going to be relieved it's not his daughter. And at the same time, it's horrible that it's this other woman's daughter.
Yeah, and then we see the mother reacting to her daughter being the one who's dead.
I think all that adds to this super oppressive mood in the movie.
Sure. But I don't know, it just... Again, I'm probably damaged by modern horror, because I didn't find it that scary.
Yeah,
it was meh. It's fine. It's not spectacular. I'm not gonna say the acting is spectacular or the lighting or anything, because it's in the 70s. I can't really judge that. It is what it is. The script feels like it's missing some bits and pieces here and there. There's details that are missing.
Yeah.
And the whole misogyny plot doesn't feel like it really has anything to do with the murders. It's just something they threw in because the murderer is a man. So they wanted to amplify it by throwing in more misogyny. I don't know.
Well, I think it's supposed to be different levels of misogyny.
I suppose. And then again... It's called Black Christmas, but where's the Christmas stuff?
Well, it takes place during Christmas.
Yeah, but...
like we said, it's not a Christmas movie. It just takes place during Christmas. I think that's mostly just a PR tactic. We'll call it Christmas, but it's Black Christmas, so it's scary Christmas.
Yeah, there's a note here on IMDb. The original title of the film script was Stop Me. It was director Bob Clark who came up with the title Black Christmas, saying that he liked the irony of something dark occurring during such a festive holiday. The title is also a tongue-in-cheek reference to the Christmas song in 1954 film White Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a, Christmas is the bad side of Christmas kind of thing, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. So and that's why I like it. I think it's really creepy to know that both that your best friend is dead just above you all this time, which also works much better in the original than in the remake, because this takes place over several days and not just a few hours, the remake. But also then that you have second part is that there's this insane person. He's literally down in the house a few times. You see from his perspective how he climbs down from the attic, and it's just he's right there, and they have no idea what's going to happen. It's kind of like a I don't know if it's Hitchcock, but there's a classic scene. I don't even remember what movie it is. That starts with you see someone planting a bomb and putting a timer on it. And there's this long one-take scene where that in 5 minutes the bomb's gonna go off, and people just keep going about their business. You're like, there's a bomb right there, do something, but no one knows about it.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't remember which movie that is, but it's the same feeling. And that's what I really like about it. For me, it's really, really tense, and well-written filmmaking.
Sure. I
gotta
not
say,
my favorite.
Also, when you mentioned that you might be damaged by modern movies, we really should go back like we did last year, or if it was this year, I don't even remember. We gotta go back and watch some classics. You need to be re-educated in classics.
No, to be fair, I have watched a few classics this year.
Oh, sure, of course you have. Yes, I know.
But I want to continue then into the 2006 version, because that would be more up my alley. Yeah. But it's the worst of the bunch.
Yes, thank you.
The one thing that saves that movie is that it has gore.
Yes, it has pretty good gore.
It has really disgusting gore when it comes to the eyes.
Yes, there's a lot of eyes.
Christ, I hate that. That's
just like in the Silent Night remake, which we talked about on our Patreon, patreon.com/NoMakeScene. Yeah, it's a lot of eyes popping.
Yeah.
Eyes being stabbed. Yeah.
But I think that is it's a thing people find disgusting, so they're just gonna throw it in.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's about the only thing I really like about that movie, and I do like some of the bimbos, the actresses. I like the casting, because they fit those stupid roles perfectly.
Yeah, but it's completely, it completely goes against what the original was trying to do, have well-rounded, real characters, not just bimbos to be murdered.
Yeah,
it's literally just it's just
fish in a barrel.
Yeah, they're just like regular slasher movie victims. They're just dumb people who are just waiting for them to be killed.
And then they throw in
no character to them, no depth, no layers, nothing.
No. There's one intrigue between them, which is almost. It's over in 10 seconds. The boyfriend sort of explains it, and then attack.
And it leads nowhere.
It leads nowhere.
It's so bad. And then you have, of course, the whole backstory to Billy.
Yes, which I liked at first, but then as soon as they kept cutting back to it and adding more to it, it's what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Especially, which was the most disturbing part of the entire movie, the part where Billy has become a teenager and the mother's new boyfriend falls asleep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, how disturbed is that mother?
Yeah, at that point, you don't... I can see why he hates women in that version.
Yes.
He was abused, physically, mentally, and sexually his entire life.
By his own mother.
By his own mother. At some point, he's gonna snap and eat her. Yeah, I get it.
Though I don't understand why they had to give him yellow skin. What was the point?
Don't know. Yeah.
That was just so unnecessary and weird.
To make him extra creepy or something? I don't know. Yeah, that's so dumb.
It doesn't add anything. It just made the edit look even stranger. Because, when he was a kid, they, literally added on a yellow filter.
Yeah, it looks like he's glowing yellow almost.
Yeah, and then they painted him yellow in when he was older. But it was why?
Yeah, I know. It's so that movie is so bad. It's kind of funny though. You gave that a higher score than
I know. But initially, when I watched it, at least this one had gore.
Yeah, sure.
I enjoyed watching it because it was fun watching the girls run around and being stupid and getting killed. Everyone except for that nerdy girl who I didn't really. I don't. The one who they think has an obsession with Billy.
Oh, the one with the glasses.
Yeah. Oh. I didn't really that. That part was kind of unnecessary.
I thought she was gonna turn out to be Billy's sister.
Oh yeah, daughter. I thought that too. I was as soon as I saw her, I was oh yeah, that's Agnes. Yeah. But it wasn't. Nope. That was just weird. Unnecessary. But I do like that they kept one of the original actresses in the movie, though.
They did?
Andrea Martin, who played Barbara in the original, plays Mrs. Mack in the
remake. Is that her?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I didn't think of that.
No, wait, sorry. She didn't play Barbara. She played Phil. Sorry.
Phil. Oh, yeah, Phil.
So they renamed her for some reason. They named her Barbara, though.
Well, she couldn't be the same character because that character died.
Oh, that's true.
And it's a remake. It's not a sequel,
It could have been a nicer Easter egg if
it could have been a sequel. So it's ooh, you know what happened in this house 20 years, 30 years ago or whatever.
Because they kept going over the Billy incident, and I was like, oh, so this is supposed to be the same house, even though it looks very different.
Like a soft reboot, sort of.
Yeah. But then, no, they changed him into being a child in the story, and they started telling that story. If they just talked about things that happened in 74, and just, I don't know, hinted at the fact that Billy was perhaps younger in the 74 movie than he seemed in that movie, like he was a teenager or something. They could have just had him be like a 50-year-old man being creepy in the 2006 version.
I wonder if this was supposed to be like a sequel.
Kind of feels like it somehow.
I'm trying to find out if it says somewhere like on Wikipedia.
But like
or something.
failed.
Yeah, production. No, because here it says after his debut feature, Willard was failed to perform at the box office. Morgan was approached by Dimension Films to write and direct a remake of Black Christmas. He was a fan of the original and cited it as a predecessor to the modern slasher film. Yes, which it is, which influenced his decision to commit to the remake. Ugh. No, yeah, so it was just supposed to be a remake. Here we go. Studio intervention. According to Morgan, he and James Wong had various disputes with Dimension Films executives Bob and Harvey Weinstein, specifically about the film's tone and the way it should end. Morgan's original script ended with Kelly and Lee in the hospital receiving a phone call from Billy, whom they believed to be dead. This scene, which Morgan filmed, was intended to pay homage to the conclusion of the original film. This ending, however, was scrapped by Bob Weinstein, who requested Morgan to write and shoot a different ending. This ultimately resulted in the more violent conclusion that appears in the theatrical cut, which has Billy being impaled on the hospital's Christmas tree topper. Yeah, which is so bad.
Yeah, apparently the Weinstein brothers also wanted the movie to be more gory.
Yeah, which that I can understand, because they know what sells, you know.
Yeah, but it kind of went against what the
original was.
Yeah, what the director was doing. The weirdest scene ever, the one where Billy makes like Christmas cookies out of his mother's skin.
Yeah,
that was their idea, apparently.
Of course,
to just push in there and shove it in to make it, extra gory.
Yeah,
because I to be honest, I didn't find that gory. I just found it weird.
It's gross.
It's gross, but it's not like disgusting gory. Oh my god, no. It's just weird.
Because he's eating like skin. It's just skin.
It's fläsksvålar, but made from humans. I don't know what you call that in English. Pork rind?
Pork rinds, yeah.
But human rind. Ew, okay, that sounds disgusting.
Exactly. Oh.
But this movie is just, the only thing it has going for it is the gore. Other than that, it's dumb. The acting is not spectacular because they don't have a lot to act around. I mean, there's one person who has to act, and that is the sister, the big sister.
Yeah, who also comes in out of nowhere.
Yeah, Kristen Cloak. I couldn't really place her. Have I seen her in anything? I probably have. Oh, she's in Final Destination.
Her. Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. And in The X-Files, 2 episodes.
Oh! Is she the girl who, no, wait. She started screaming. Wait a minute, I gotta see. Is she the one who, remembers? She has fuck, I gotta look this up now. Where is she?
She's,
X-Files. Melissa. The field where I died. Wait, is the one wasn't one I was thinking of. But I was thinking of a similar episode. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, no, she's done, like, a bunch of random stuff. But I felt like I recognized her, but I think I'm confusing her with someone else.
Yeah.
Because she's the only one who has, like, acting to do. Her and Miss Mac, I suppose. All the other girls are just running around being bimbos. Yeah. Which is a shame, because Mary Elizabeth Winstead is a great actress.
Exactly, yeah. I wish they didn't waste her on this trash.
Yeah. I'm not going to say much about the other ones because I mean, they're not great. Lacey Chabert is pretty good. Shabbat, I don't know how you say her last name.
Ah, it was her. Oh, I was misremembering. Yes, Kristen Cloak. X-Files, the field where I died. Yeah, she has she remembers a bunch of people. She has a bunch of people in her head. Right. Yeah, okay. Oh, sort of. Okay. That's why I knew her face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You kind of recognize her face, but she's overacting in this one, so I don't.
Yeah, everyone is.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
It's bad. It has no redeeming features really,
except for eyes. I like the gory eyes.
Sure.
I kind of appreciated like the fact that we actually get to see them kill all the girls more or less, because you don't in the original. A lot of the kills are off screen.
Well, they cut around the gore, but I mean, I think it's more classy in the original. Like,
yes,
when he kills Barb, and she like wakes up, and you see him like stab her with the unicorn, the glass unicorn, and it's all bloody, and she tries to reach for the other glass animals there, but she can't. It's all in slow motion. It's almost beautiful in a way. I don't know.
Sure,
I like it.
I kind of like the gore though, but the 2006 version loses the misogyny thing.
Yeah,
there's one douchebag boyfriend, and that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. We need to have, and it feels so out of place.
Oh yeah,
like, why is he there? And why did he have why did he have sex with another one of the girls? Where is this going?
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, you can almost understand Billy's hatred towards women because of the extensive backstory with his insane mother. Like, of course he's gonna. That's the only woman he ever knew his entire life. Of course he's gonna hate women.
Yeah, of course. Though, I have to ask, because the adult Agnes, that's played by a guy, right?
I don't know. It kind of looked like it had a very
very square
build.
jaw and a big build in general. It looks very. I mean, whatever. It just felt off for some reason. It threw me off too much. It's like at first I thought that was Billy, like role playing.
Yeah, I thought so too. But then there were two killers all of a sudden.
Yeah,
which also made the whole thing very because you didn't know that at the beginning, so you're like, oh, they show the first girl getting killed, and then they show Billy escaping from the mental institution. You're like,
exactly.
Are they cutting back and forth, or what's
it was
happening here?
It was very confusing, and it could have obviously been improved on.
Yeah,
but in general, this is just a movie like the 2006 movie. Just it's forgettable. It's bad. I don't understand why they wasted money on it. To be honest.
Yeah, no, it didn't work. You got terrible reviews. Nobody went and saw it.
If you like seeing people getting their eyes removed, watch it. And if you want to see one half-naked shower scene, I suppose, then sure, go watch it. That's about it.
That's about it. Dean Friss plays Agnes, 16 and 22 years. So
he looked, or that person looked a lot like Sergeant Nash from the original. At first, I thought that was like a cameo. I was like, nah, it can't be. He can't look that young still.
No. It's not him. Anyway, let's talk about.
Then we have 2019.
Yeah, and at first you weren't going to watch it, and then I saw it yesterday, and I was like, "You have to watch this."
Yes.
So the 2019 version is, in one way, the most far removed from the original.
Yes.
But thematically, it's much more similar to the original than the 2006 version.
Yes, definitely.
It deals with misogyny and feminism in general.
Yeah.
But the story is there's not like one murderer stalking girls.
No, and it doesn't have to do with this Billy kid thing. No. There's no history to the house or whatever.
There's history to the college, though.
Sure, but it's not connected to Billy as a character.
No, exactly.
In this case, it's just some random dude who, turns out had black magic
powers or something.
I
don't know what was going on. Yeah, because we'll get to that part, because that part. I can say this: I didn't like the movie. Not a lot to love here.
I had a lot of issues with it, but it was still entertaining.
It looked good.
Yes.
I liked the whole like American Gothic look to all the buildings, because it's all like early or mid 1800s buildings.
It's the classic college, American college campus thing.
Yeah. Also, there's all these big houses, and it's all shot usually in the dark with all these Christmas lights turned on. And it's almost so big that it kind of looks hazy sometimes. And I like the look of the movie. I thought some of the performances were okay.
Yeah,
I thought Carrie, I don't remember how you say his name, Elwes or Elves or Yules, the guy, the teacher.
Professor, yeah.
Yeah. He overacts so wonderfully. Yes. He chews all the scenery in this movie. He is so fucking funny in this movie. I think it's supposed to be intentional.
Yes. I can only remember him ever overacting in anything I've ever seen him. So this is just how he is to me. I can't remember him being like a calm character ever.
No, I mean he's you probably recognize him from Saw. He's the older guy in Saw. The second victim.
Yeah.
He's the one that actually saws his foot off. Hence the name Saw. That's where it all came from.
I mean, I did see him last year in A Castle for Christmas, which was one of my new Christmas movies last year.
Oh, okay.
He overacts in that one too, but it's a romantic comedy, so it's fun.
Oh, okay. And I will always remember. For me, he will always be Robin Hood in Men in Tights.
I never watched that Robin Hood, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's so good. It's so bad, but it's so good.
All of the actors and characters are kind of over the top, though.
A little bit, yeah.
They're a bit like extreme versions of what they should be. Which I guess is kind of the point, or I hope that was the point, because if this was meant to be like super serious, they overshot it by miles.
I think it's supposed to be serious.
Oh, I mean,
this came out in the era of it came out in 2019. So
that's
around the time where women were standing up. Like we wanted to have women in movies now.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We had female Ghostbusters. We had Wonder Woman. We had fucking in the same year as this. We had fucking Captain Marvel.
That's true.
Movies, and including this, all movies that failed to actually portray feminism the right way.
Yes.
Except for Wonder Woman. I do like Wonder Woman, but even that gets a little silly sometimes.
Not the movie in itself, really, but how people discuss
PR, yeah.
it. Yeah, and the PR, yes.
Do you remember that picture? And it went with the little girl. I think she's even dressed like Wonder Woman or some similar. And she looks up at the poster like she's so awe-inspired. Like she's 5 years old.
She doesn't understand.
What? She doesn't understand anything. Fuck you. It's so
and this
made
movie
up. Yeah.
has the exact same issue, except for, I guess, technically Imogen Poots' character. She is sort of okay because she actually questions it at one point. I'll give her that.
But then it just turns out that no, men are not just like bad. They're literally trying to like take over the world with black magic. There is no nuance here at all.
No. But I do feel like they did accurately portray what I call militant feminism as well.
Yes,
because fuck's sake, they make me. I hate these women or these girls because they're actually girls. I mean,
I love that they kept going like, "We're women." No, you're like 19. You're still a girl.
I mean, I'm almost 30. I would call myself a girl.
Yeah, I wouldn't call a 19-year-old guy a man.
No, it's a guy
boy. Yeah.
or a boy.
Or a guy. Yeah,
and girl is more of a universal word for younger women, I suppose. There's no guy for girls. It's girls. Chicks? I don't know. No, they don't want to be called that either.
Broads.
Yeah.
Fucking broads.
Birds.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's so and it's so bad. I saw someone write a review of it because it deals with what I call pop feminism. It's all the easy surface level stuff like, ooh, don't tell us to smile, or women don't call us hysterical, those kind of things. Yeah, those things are not, they're part of it, but there is a lot.
There's deeper and bigger issues,
much bigger issues to deal with than like, guys treat us bad. I don't even know what to say. Really,
they touch on some of the deeper issues, which is obviously assault.
Yeah,
that is definitely an issue. I mean, it happens on both sides, so we shouldn't like discriminate here. There are men who are assaulted by women as well. We have that in the 2006 version. Just throwing that in there. Billy!
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah,
Billy being assaulted by his mother, for Christ's sake.
Yes. Hey, that's full-on rape.
Yeah, but we have... I'm trying to use a nicer word here. Because the Riley character is also raped, according to her. The scenes we see seem like it.
It's... Yeah...
that is her truth and his truth is not, but we're supposed to believe her in this case because that's the way the story's written. And I do believe her. She was obviously shook by what happened, so... Yeah.
I just gotta, once again, I don't know if this is a bad take or not, but just like with Barbarian, and just like with Tar, you haven't seen Tar, but, we talked about Tar. There is... Even though this is a bit more explicit with what actually happened, because we basically see it.
Yes.
We still don't see it. Yeah.
No.
We see that he holds her down.
And that she struggles to get out.
She struggles to get out. That's it, though. And sure, that is assault. Yes.
Yes. I don't think they want... And it is a bad thing.
It's a crime. It's, I'm not excusing it.
No.
But it's also
in this case, I don't think they wanted to show actual sexual assault.
No, because
they just wanted to imply it because,
movie, which is not a bad thing about this
exactly.
Movie. Yeah, but
so we're supposed to understand that it happened.
I'm sick of movies just implying it.
I know.
I think you can imply some things, but when it comes to something so heinous as rape or sexual assault.
It still needs to be more clarified.
First of all, it needs to be clear what actually happened.
Yes.
Because otherwise, to accuse someone of that
is also
if it hasn't happened, it's almost as bad.
Yes.
Because it turns that person then into a complete inhuman monster. Because there are a few things you can do that are more disgusting than that.
Yes.
So then, it needs to be very clear what actually happened, and if you really want to make a person if you really want to make someone a villain in a movie, hey, have them rape someone. Yeah. That's also there is there's a fine line there, of course, because there's a lot of movies in the 80s, a lot of bad action movies that just had rape scenes because we need to show that this guy is a bad guy. So they just
for the shock value almost.
Yeah, but then they show too much.
Yes. There's a Swedish film that has that. I fucking hate it. Vingar av Glas. I can't watch that movie because of it.
Really? Oh no.
It's an old movie.
Yeah, I know which one it is. It has Alexander Skarsgård in it.
Yeah, but that rape scene is so explicit. I can't fucking watch it. It's disgusting. Yeah. And I don't want that in movies. But I understand what you're saying.
When a movie revolves around it, I think it's important to, show how bad it actually is.
Not, in freaking detail, but they need to show it clear enough so that we understand that this is actually something that has happened. It's not just someone accusing someone of it.
Yeah.
There's a difference between that. And in a movie, if we're going to accuse someone... And the movie wants us to understand that it happened, show us.
Yeah, exactly.
In one way or another, you need to show us.
A perfect example where because it's the central, it's like the core of the story. It's a French movie called Irreversible or Irreversible, where Monica Bellucci gets raped, and it's like one long take. It's not like they don't move in to show any gritty details. It's just one locked off shot in a tunnel where they first start making out, and she doesn't want to continue, and then it starts.
Yeah,
and it's just full on. We don't. It's the camera's far away, so like we said, you don't see anything. But yeah, it's quite obvious what's happening.
Yeah, you understand what's happening at least.
There is no denying that he is raping
assaulting her.
Yeah, and there's the worst thing is like when she starts screaming for help, and there's people walking past them in the other side of the tunnel. They just keep walking. It's horrific. And the movie then deals with, well, the movie's it's backwards. The movie has already dealt with it.
Yeah, but it's that the movie is dealing with it. But that's what the movie's about.
And how it not only like ruins her life, it ruins the lives of the people around her as well, because they get so affected by it. Her boyfriend like trying to find the guy who wants to kill him, and it's a horrific scene. But at least then you are completely like. You're in it.
You understand what happened and why the people are how they are because of it. This movie, Black Christmas from 2019, it's lacking that part because we are supposed to understand that it happened. We sort of do, but there is doubt, which I guess is also part of it. But it kind of feeds the demonetization. I can't say the word. Demonizing of the victim blaming,
Yeah.
They're feeding that issue, which isn't good. But then we also have a little bit of the reaction and implications of the people surrounding the victim, because the worst person is the Chris character, played by Elise Shannon. I think you say Elise. I'm not sure.
Which one is that?
The one with the really curly hair. Who is like super badass and signs the petitions and stuff.
Oh, the
freaking militant feminist.
The feminazi, as they call it.
Yes. Yeah. Who is way too much. And she's to the point where she's the bad version of feminism in this movie, because she pushes her best friend to do things that she will ultimately regret about something that happened to her only 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That trauma, she needs time to heal, and 3 years is probably not enough.
Yeah.
She pushes her to perform in front of the dude and all of his frat boys,
fraternity brothers, yeah.
And like point it out, and then she films it and posts it online. The blast bit is bad enough, but
I missed what did she say? Because I missed what she said.
She says something about this will show him that doing this will hurt him or something. I don't remember exactly, but she like points out his name specifically because in the song they don't say a name; they just say it happened in the frat house. But she actually says his name in the end, which is why it becomes like the professor points out that this could be legal actions because it's defamation almost.
Yeah.
Even though she has already sued him, I think, for assault. It's not really clear in the movie, to be honest.
No.
There was some sort of... I mean, she reported him, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, the police didn't believe her,
Basically, yeah.
That's what she says. No one believed me. Why do you think they'll believe us? The police didn't believe me when I told them I was assaulted. Why would they believe me now that, about the black magic stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But the Chris character, the best friend, is almost as bad as the frat bros.
Yeah,
the way she forces her to like not only reconcile with what happened with her, but like take action on it or
to face
fight back almost.
Yeah, when she's not ready for it. Yeah,
obviously not ready for it.
And also. It's this version of not just feminism, but just in general this way of like dealing with a problem or an inequality or anything, and to be so confrontational.
Yes,
it's almost always the wrong way to do it, because
even just the way
if you confront someone, they will almost always then get defensive.
Exactly.
And fight back. Even if they're wrong, they'll fight back.
The thing about her having petitions signed to get Professor Gleason fired because he refuses to include female and people of color in his, like, curriculum.
Yeah, which I gotta say, though, because if I'm not mistaken, he teaches, like, literary classics.
Yeah.
And, yeah, there aren't a lot of classic, like, they're talking about, like, the 1800s classics.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of black and female writers from that time.
No.
There's, like, Alexander Dumas was black, and Mary Shelley was a female. That's about it, I think, when you talk, like, the old literary classics. Like, I'm sorry, like, you gotta go to the modern classics, course then.
Sort of. And I mean, even though he does actually, like the first scene we see him in, he points out that he is quoting a woman who makes it sound like who is misogynistic, basically.
Yeah.
Like, he's only working with the material he has.
Yeah.
You need to have a bit of an, like, kind of, I can't think of the word, översikt. Understanding?
Yeah.
You kind of need to accept that this is what he has to work with. This is what history is. Sure.
Exactly.
There are black authors and there are female authors in history, but unfortunately, because of how our history was, they weren't or aren't considered classics.
Exactly. And it's not his point to, like, make them classics.
No.
That's not that.
He doesn't have that power, first of all.
Exactly. And
however, this dude is a douchebag.
Yes, of course he is. And he's also, like, the leader of the Black Magic Club, so, you know.
Yeah. But that scene and her whole petition is so wrong.
Yeah.
It made me not want to sympathize with the women in this movie for a while.
Yeah.
And
they're...
she keeps putting it in there that I'm just screaming at them for being fucking idiots.
Yeah. Hey, how about you don't scream at them?
Exactly.
Because that just makes people shut down. They won't listen.
Like, I'm all for fighting back if something has happened to you, but
of course.
To out people, like, the song is kind of funny. The performance is kind of funny because people are laughing, ha ha ha. But then, like... But
it was never going to solve anything.
No.
It is the worst kind of, like...
Why post it online? With or without that last comment, why would you post that online? Yeah, that is just giving them ammunition.
Yes. It is dumb. It is not thought out at all.
No.
And it's also, like, it's a thing I can't stand with like I said, with any, like, modern, like, standing up against inequalities, feminism, what have you. Like, this, to inject so much emotion into it does not help.
No.
Sure, I understand that people get emotional.
Yes.
Over it because it is horrible what happens.
But when dealing with it,
exactly when dealing with it, you need to set emotions aside.
You need to be rational.
Yeah, perfect example. How much did you watch of the Dahmer series, the new Dahmer Monster Dahmer
Barely
show?
Anything.
Oh, okay. Because there's this scene, I didn't finish it either, but I think I saw like 8 or 9 episodes of 10, and then I just whatever. I know I should have just finished it, but whatever. I didn't care. I didn't care for, like, the last 5 episodes anyway. But there's a scene in excuse me. There's a scene in the courtroom where a bunch of the victims families get to talk, say what they think, and so he can hear it. And it really affects you when because towards the end of the show they also start to actually focus on the victims.
Yeah,
which you should have been the focus the whole time of that show. And you get to hear the mother of that deaf kid he murdered talk about, like, how her life is basically ruined now and everything. And it's really affecting. And then the last one they bring up is it's the sister of one of the victims, and she just goes up, and she just starts screaming and, like, jumping up and down and flailing her arms. And I understand that she's super upset, but at that moment, I just went from, this is so horrible, I can't believe the tragedy of all these families, and I just went to, fuck this. I don't care.
Yeah.
It just shut down when it's so performative.
Exactly.
Like nobody, like, it doesn't work. I just stopped caring. In a millisecond, it just switched.
No matter how upset you are over something, when you're trying to convey it and talk about it, it's always better to keep a calm and composed demeanor, yeah. Because no one is gonna listen if you don't.
Exactly.
And that's like one of the main issues with misogyny, that men always say that women are too emotional because they can't control their emotions. They're kind of doing that in this movie. The girls are being emotional about it.
What can I tell you?
However, I want to point out that the guys in this movie are also fucking losers. They have to. They are so weak that they have to resolve to black magic to be able to what's it called? Like overpower women. I'm sorry. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Have you not heard of like talking to girls?
That's also like, but I don't think they actually used black magic until like now. They didn't use that earlier in us, like the whole assaulting with him in the poots wasn't black magic.
No, but there was the end of it. It's all just like, oh, we're gonna take over the world with black magic. Like,
yeah, and
what are you, a Bond villain?
That was laughably bad.
Yes.
That's where I started liking the movie. Like, oh, it's actually about black magic and like zombies and shit.
Kind of campy, which was fun.
Just super campy. It was so much fun all of a sudden. And then the girls burst in like, hey, you messed with the wrong sisters. And then they had this big fight and this fire and like, oh my god. Yeah, then the movie got super fun, which completely just contrasts with how serious the movie was before, though.
Yes.
So it doesn't fit at all, but it is fun still. I wish the whole movie was like that.
But I feel like that minimalizes the women fighting back when they're fighting against black magic.
Yeah, it's not misogyny, it's black magic. And I'm like,
exactly.
Are they seriously saying that misogyny is black magic? It's like, no, it's not. It's just human nature. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is.
Like, sure, all the men in this movie, except for, like, 2, are douchebags.
Yeah. And even, that's also another perfect example of where screaming doesn't help. The scene where they start bickering with each other.
The boyfriend and the girlfriend?
No, the first Riley and whatever Imogen Poots character is called. Yeah, so
Riley is Imogen Poots.
Who's the curly-haired... Chris, sorry. Yeah, Riley, Chris... Right.
Yes, when they start bickering over the
the
video.
guy's like this. Oh, just shut up! He's like he has a headache because of the black magic stuff is already starting to affect him.
Yeah.
He brings up what I think are valid points, but you're not allowed to say it because it goes against what all the feminists say. The whole "not all men" thing.
Yes.
Which is you're not supposed to use that as an argument, but it is, I think, an argument you should use because she does literally say like men are bad, and when and I know that they don't mean all men, but when you say men, it is all men.
Unless you say some men or the bad men. When you're just saying the word men, you are referring to all men.
Yeah, and I know because I've actually
it's the same with other things. Like
I don't know if it was personally. I know it might have just been over Twitter or something. Like, well, when we say men, you shouldn't unless you are have assaulted someone or is a misogynist. You shouldn't lump yourself in with the men we're talking about. But that's in it, and it's. It's unavoidable because you say men.
It's the same like when we've talked about this before. We mentioned it before at least. When in American culture they say that white people are bad.
Yeah.
In some cases, they don't refer to all white people. But even I, as a Swedish person who has nothing to do with American history, I feel like I have white privilege.
Yeah.
But I'm not part of American history, but because I'm white, I feel affected when they say white privilege.
And now, because you're saying that, you're being racist.
Yeah, I know, I'm being racist now.
Now you're being implicit. You actually are privileged for saying that.
To make it even easier to understand then, at work at the moment, we have a test group testing out a new system. Whenever the project leader mentions in the like group chat that you need to hand in your time sheets and like your timestamps and stuff for how long you've worked on the project, on the testing. She mentions it like broadly, generally to everyone, but even the people who have handed in their timesheets on time feel like they're being told off.
Yeah.
Because they're not specifically pointing out who it's about.
Yeah. And that's why...
When you're generalizing and saying men, you are referring to all men.
Yes, you are. That's the problem.
That's the problem. And no, it's not all men. There's a bunch of men who are good men. In this movie, we have 2. Out of which only one of them comments that he isn't bad.
Yeah, and the other one being a fucking bitch. I mean,
he's a bit of a...
He's so lame. He's
sorry. He's a bit spineless.
And the funny thing is that's the kind of man that these third wave, I don't even call it third wave feminism anymore, these modern feminists want. They want that kind of like milquetoast, spineless fucking...
But they also write in the fact that he saves Riley at one point.
Yeah.
Which is like... Make up your mind. What is this about? Because this movie, first of all, going back to the fact that it's a horror movie, I like the gore, I like the slasher bits, the scary bits. It's a fun classic, standard run-of-the-mill horror film. I like it. Like you said, the settings work perfectly. The snow and the darkness with the Christmas lights, beautiful. Oh, yeah. Lovely. The whole black magic thing is kind of fun. It adds a little bit of a flair to a otherwise run-of-the-mill slasher movie.
Yeah, sure.
But then on top of that, we have this whole fucking feminism and misogyny issue that they can't really make up their mind about.
Yeah.
They keep going back and forth on what's the main issue and what's the real issue, but then I don't know, you don't solve your problems by attacking them though, so why would the feminists attack the misogynist men? And you still have women being convinced that misogyny is good in this case, because we have what's her name, Helena?
Yeah, she's the trad wife. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you trying to do with this?
Yeah, and also like it's like modern Star Trek. Also, it's not trying to solve any problems.
No,
it just would say, look, here's all the problems. I don't like this.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because in the end, they didn't solve anything. Like, of course, you can't solve misogyny like that. No. They're not even trying. It just ends with them killing everyone. Literally, like, burning them to death. And sure, they are, they're black magic monsters in this movie. But, like, it's a very drastic measure to take to kill them.
That's also an issue. Like, you're fighting back,
burn.
But this isn't fighting back. This is killing. This is going too far. Breaking the statue, and then them all kind of going out of the haze, I suppose. That would have been enough.
Wouldn't that have been better? Like, they start fighting, like, but then she managed to break the statue, and everyone like, oh, we're losing our powers. We're becoming betas, or something, You
even hear one guy going, no, I didn't mean it. I was under a spell or something. He's like shouting, that wasn't me. I didn't mean it. Please don't kill me, basically.
Hadn't that been better to show that the individual man is really a weak animal and they're only strong in groups or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, they need magic to be able to be the bad people that they are. They're not, they're not strong enough.
Alpha in society,
Yeah.
And regular women can still beat their magic,
Exactly.
Be clever about it. It's not clever anywhere. It's so dumb and broad.
Yeah. And then instead they kill like 20 guys.
Yeah.
Literally burning them alive.
Yeah.
Which is horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's but that is
which is why my letterbox looks like hell when I try to write this, because I was so mad.
Yeah,
I was so angry with this movie.
I tried to read a little of it, but I couldn't.
No, because it's so weird.
But that's the problem. It's like yeah, it's probably like this is what I call it pop feminism, and another guy called it t-shirt feminism, which it literally is in the beginning, because I read a review of it where he mentioned it's t-shirt feminism, because it's just slogans.
Oh, right, yeah.
The whole "don't call me hysterical," hashtag not all men, all that stuff, because that's all that this movie is.
Yes.
Like Captain Marvel, that's why I mentioned Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel literally has a scene where he says, "Smile," and I was like, oh my god. Anyway, yeah, and it doesn't, where was I going with this? Right. And that t-shirt feminism, pop feminism, or you could call it fast food feminism, because if you are a feminist watching this, it is instantly gratifying. Like, fuck yeah, sisters, and like they beat the bad guys. But after that, what did they actually achieve with this movie? What did they actually accomplish in the movie and nothing. With the movie? Yeah, absolutely nothing.
Like, I'm all for female empowerment. I'm all for female empowerment, and I have to say, when they did fight, they looked
is
badass.
Part of Please Don't Make a Scene.
But they were
idiots.
It is
produced and directed by Tobias Vedén.
This is
and
not
hosted
how
by
you
Tobias
fight the good
and
fight,
Rebecca Vedén.
as they even
Executive
said.
producer is
they
Annika Vedén and Laura Kinney.
No.
I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakascene.
And they attacked you because of black magic misogyny.
Laura Kinney, Danny Del Gaiso,
but you didn't know
Mac
that. You just went haywire and crazy on them because they were men who attacked you.
Yeah.
Like, this movie could have been, if they just didn't have the feminist propaganda in it, it would have been better. Because it would have been just bad guys versus good guys who happen to be different genders.
And that's why to kind of
wrap this all up somehow.
Wrap this up, but also circle back to the original. That's why I like the original better, because it's not so blatantly like, ugh, men are scum. But all throughout the movie, almost every male character is kind of a, he's kind of a misogynist.
Douchebag.
Yeah, douchebags. And the women are like, oh no, you're being a bad man. They're not pointing it out. But you start thinking in those tracks the more the movie goes on. You're like, yeah. And in the end, you're almost questioning, like, is Peter the bad guy? Is he the murderer?
Oh,
but then he isn't, of course. Yeah.
I mean, there's one character of the girls who is kind of like, men are dumb, and it's Barb, because she's constantly drunk. She's just like, she's fucking with the guys. She's just fucking with the guys because they're idiots, and she knows it. Yeah, that's fine. But fine. She's not making it her revolution, No, because a revolution is never won with one war. No, it's a long ass fight, and you need to keep fighting. Yeah. It's a long war with many fights or something. That, you know what I mean. Yeah. It's not just the one fight. You can't just do it once and then you win. No. It takes time. It's a process, yeah. Yes. Exactly. There is no there is no fast food version of a revolution, No. And that's that's why all these, over the last few years, all these protests, no matter what they were protesting, everyone just screaming and crying, and these fucking morons like super gluing themselves to artworks all around the world and gluing themselves to streets, fucking up traffic. It's just attention seeking, and they're not resolving anything. They're not resolving anything. And I saw this guy he's a pretty good writer. I've read some of his stuff on Twitter. I follow him on Twitter. But he had the most moronic statement ever, like, I know it doesn't actually solve anything, but I'd rather take 1,000 demonstrators like this than, like, if it actually makes people talk about it, it's at least it's doing something. But the thing is, it's not making people talk about it in any sort of positive way. All it makes people say is like, what are these morons doing? Yeah, it's not making people talk about the issue. It's making people talk about the people who are doing the weird stuff about regarding or because of the issue. Yeah, when I see someone throwing like a can of paint on a Monet painting, I don't see like,
oh, they're protesting the oil spills. No, I see, oh, they're ruining one of the greatest paintings of all time. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be better to just stand? Like Monet didn't create the oil spills. Why are you ruining his painting?
What did he do?
Yeah, like, it doesn't make sense.
No, that makes me that which is the same with this feminism. It makes me angry because
that's why I brought it up. It's this fast food version of a revolution. Fast food feminism, fast food protesting. It doesn't work.
No,
you need to change things on a fundamental level, and
you need to change the system.
These performance art pieces aren't going to do that.
No,
I'm sorry.
No. What it does instead is harming their agenda because it makes them look like idiots.
Yes.
People are now disregarding what they're actually talking about and just looking at them as individuals and morons.
Yeah.
I'm thinking specifically of what we had in Sweden, people who superglued themselves to the freeway. Fucking idiots. I mean, how many people died because of that? Because the ambulances couldn't get to the hospitals in times?
Yeah, or just the fact that...
And I don't even know what they were protesting.
Me neither. I have no idea.
And the environment probably, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, and anything they're creating all these car I don't know what you call
pile-ups.
Car pile-ups. Yeah, pile-ups is when they crash.
Okay.
All the long lines of cars just standing there,
spewing
out more exhaust than they had before. Because they're just standing
now
there.
They have to be there for hours instead of 1 hour.
Yeah. So you're damaging, and that's also why I couldn't stand. Now this is just me ranting, I suppose.
No, but I had the same issue with that. That's the issue I had with this movie. I couldn't sympathize with the women in the movie because they were idiots. They just made me angry, so I didn't care about the misogyny. I was like, fuck it, they're douchebags, but I don't care.
Yeah,
he raped her. That's him being an issue, not the other men in general.
Yeah.
Like, you're not making... And it kind of ruined the horror bit as soon as we figured that out, because it wasn't a horror movie anymore. Then it just became an action movie.
But like I said, that was so funny, I didn't really care.
Yeah, I still... this is the weird part. I still like the 2019 version better than the other two.
Oh, no. I couldn't stand this one.
It made me angry, which is a good thing sometimes.
Yeah, but it
and I did like some of the. I did like some of the chase scenes in the house when
sure.
There were like just the three of them, and then the masked men turned up, and there was a bow and arrow and whatever. That was what the fuck.
Ooh, that was another. Just to nitpick a little bit. Then when they actually, when the first arrow gets fired, which is kind of the start of the whole last act of the movie.
Yeah.
They're all standing in the foyer, as it's called.
Yeah.
Because they just threw the boyfriend out, like, oh my god, because he said not all men. Did you seriously just not all men me? Anyway, I just remembered what the shirt said in the beginning. I'm tired. I don't want to hear your monologue.
All right.
Anyway, sorry. So they're just standing there being so, I'm so annoyed. And then an arrow comes out of nowhere. You barely have time to react. Like, was that an arrow? Because they don't focus on it. And then another one comes and hits one of the girls in the leg.
Marty. The one who described herself as an owl. Her partner as a I don't remember. And her friends as ants.
Yeah. Oh, the whole ant metaphor doesn't work either. We should talk about that before we wrap this up, actually. But I guess I'm going to say... So you see these two arrows being fired, and you don't know where's it coming from, and then they turn to the door, and out comes the masked guy with the bow.
Yeah.
But how did he fire the first two arrows if he wasn't in the room already?
I don't know. Black magic?
Yeah, I know it's a nitpick because they want to have the reveal when he walks into the room. But he should already be in the room to fire the arrows. He
could have just walked out of shadow or something. That would have made more sense.
Like I said, nitpick. But I was just like, wait, that doesn't work. How did he fire the first two arrows?
It did make for a very cool villain to have this masked dude in a black cloak running around with a bow and arrow. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Really cool. Though it bothered me to all hell that they didn't just remove the mask. They took 5 minutes, and then when they almost removed the mask, of course they get attacked again. Like, I literally said, "You dumb bitch." Why are you hesitating? Like, just remove the mask. It's Scooby-Doo all over.
Yeah.
Like, just remove it straight away.
What was the other thing?
What about the ant thing?
Oh, the ant thing.
Because I kind of liked it. There is definite strength in numbers, and it worked in a, like, friendship symbolic way. I don't know how it worked with feminism.
No, the thing is, like, ants are not a good metaphor for, like, oh, we're stronger in numbers. Because ants are literal mindless drones.
Yeah, that's true. I get what she was saying, though, when she described it.
I get what she was saying, but she was saying, "Oh, so you're a mindless worker, all working under this one, admittedly queen who controls everyone."
I mean,
but that's also like the only woman in an ant society is basically just a breeding pig. So
yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a bad metaphor for feminism.
There's a way better metaphor for feminism, which I would probably say is a lion pride.
Yeah, exactly.
Because in the pride of lions, the main woman is the leader, and the other women are just below her.
They're the ones who hunt. They provide for the pride. Yeah, the men are just lazying about.
Yeah, they're just there to make more women.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a better metaphor.
Yeah, because that would have been a better metaphor.
According to some feminists, that's all we need men for.
Yeah, we're the breeding pigs. Yeah.
But I do understand what she was trying to say. It just kind of fell short.
Yeah, for me it was just like, oh, so you're a mindless drone. Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's women. Sure, yeah.
However, I mentioned that in my Letterboxd review. I did like that they called it Black Christmas this time because it referred to the black stuff, at least.
Yeah, I suppose.
Instead of blood, there was black ooze. Yay!
Yeah.
And they had more of a prominent theme of Christmas running through the movie because they were talking over and over about Christmas vacation, this orphan's Christmas dinner thing, and there was a Christmas performance in the beginning. There was more of a Christmas to it. I had more Christmas feeling watching 2019 Black Christmas than 1974. 2006 had some Christmas elements to it, but as soon as the scary bits started, so to speak, they kind of lost the whole Christmas bit.
Yeah, I suppose.
It was just there for the beginning.
And also gonna mention, because that's one thing that I also liked about this. Maybe it was what do you call it? Incidental or not? What's it called?
Accidental.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't mean to, but there was like a reference to The Exorcist 3 in this movie.
Oh, there was?
When the girl.
Wait, you're talking about the 2019 version, right?
2019 version, yes.
Yeah.
When she's walking around, she's about to leave, but then she's like, oh, my cat, something.
Fran. Yeah.
Yeah, she's walking around. There's this long one take when she's walking through a bunch of doors, and you see the cat hiding under the whatever it is.
The chair, eventually.
Chair, yeah. And you're just waiting for something to happen, and nothing happens. But then she picks the cat up, and then a guy in a black robe comes out and it zooms in on her. That's like almost like beat for beat taken from one of the scariest scenes in Exorcist 3.
Oh.
Where they do exactly the same thing.
Because that was the best scene in the entire movie, basically. Also, the only thing that referenced the original, because in the original the cat was named Claude, and this one was Claudette. Reference!
Yeah, reference, yeah.
Oh, and I guess the plastic bag obviously is the reference, because all three movies have had one of their first victims being suffocated by a plastic bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the first victims. In this one, it's not technically the first victim, it's the second victim, I think.
Second or third, I think.
Yeah. Because we have the cold open being the first victim, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's it.
Oh, now this became a very long discussion about everything else but the movie.
Yeah. So I guess the movie kind of succeeded in that way. At least we get to discuss about it. Yeah. Talk about it. But not in a positive way, though.
No.
That's the problem. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we're just going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for listening. Like we said, if you wanna get even more episodes, check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. We also have commentary tracks and exclusive videos. Links are everywhere. We have a link tree to all our other social media. And at this point, like we said, our review for Avatar 2 will come out at some point. Our schedule is a little muffed up here towards the end of the year. But it should be on Patreon right now, and we're going to release it on the free platforms.
Yes.
Within soon.
Shortly.
Very soon. Within shortly, yeah.
And just to point it out, we're doing it's a bit of a special because we're watching it in a special way.
Yeah, we're doing a midnight premiere. It's the first time in years, it feels like.
Yes. So we'll talk about that as well, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna have to be it. Once again, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you in the next episode, but until then, have a good one.
Bye.
The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is produced and directed by Tobias Vedén and hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén and Laura Kinney. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Mom, Dad, Laura Kinney, Danny Del Gaiso, and Mac and Mom.